Welcome to the Millcreek Government Channel. I'm Judy Zelina.
And I'm Jessica Stutzman.
We are here at the Millfair Compost and Recycling Center, and it's been over 16 years for this center to get where it is today.
We're going to take a behind-the-scenes tour to show you how we get organic finished product from leaves and brush from start to finish.
Jessie, is this not the most gorgeous day to be out here at Millfair?
It is. It's a perfect day to be composting.
You know, we have so many people that visit the site, the Millfair Compost and Recycling Center, but they don't really know how it all began. So what Jessie and I would like to do today is we want to take you back to how it all started and the growth we've seen to where we are today.
Yes, and again, this is the perfect day to do it, and I think we're really going to enjoy today's tour of the Millfair Compost Center. So Judy, to start us off, again, we want to know the history of Millfair, why it started, and what year it formed.
Okay, actually, in 2004, the DEP passed a law that banned backyard burning of any leaves and any leaf waste. Mm-hmm. So we had people that had burn barrels in their backyards, and so it was acceptable behavior. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden, they weren't able to do that. And people were not happy about that. So they would call us and ask, why am I not allowed to burn? You know, it's my God-given right to burn, and I want to do it. The reason being is, quite honestly, burning leaves pollutes the air. Mm-hmm. You know, when the leaves are burning, there's little particles that come out in the smoke that you inhale, and you would be coughing, and again, causes pollution.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. And what year did it form?
2004.
And there were a few key players that really helped get this off the ground.
Yes, we had Supervisor Joe Chiava and Charlotte Bartlett. She was the recycling coordinator, the original recycling coordinator for Milfair Township. Mm-hmm. So what had happened when the burning was taken away, Milcreek is really big, and you know this, Jessie, because we've done this in other areas. We always want to find a replacement. If it's been taken away from us, we want to make sure that our residents still will have another avenue. Mm-hmm. So Joe and Charlotte got this idea. Why no? Let's start a compost center, you know, just like that. Mm-hmm. And so that's where the idea came from, mm-hmm. is those two and looking for an alternative for burning leaf and leaf waste.
And it is such a great alternative. Of course, not burning, not adding these organic materials to the landfill, so we're not adding to our landfill tonnages. Where did they get the idea to use this particular site? I mean, this is a perfect site, but did they have any forethought? Did they have to purchase the land?
No, this land right here where Milfair is was owned and is owned by Milfair Township. And this was the perfect place for it. Joe and Charlotte were looking for different areas. Could it be on the east side? Could it be over here on the west side? This was years ago, Jessie, as you've heard it referred to as the pit, mm-hmm. The dump.
Yes.
And what this area, and it's over 5 acres here, what this area used to be, the streets department, sewer department, water department, anytime were doing any ditching or anything, this is where they would end up bringing illegal dumping. So we had concrete here, we had chains here, we had, you name it, it was here. It was just a dump.
Yes, I heard lots of dirt also.
There was dirt. Oh, it was. We have pictures of, I think Charlotte has them, had pictures of what it was, what it started as, and what it is today. So yeah, so we did find the land, and we decided, okay, compost center, okay, it's going to be here.
Okay, and then so it is here on Millfair Road, and I think one really neat thing to point out is that Millfair is the border of the two municipalities, Millcreek and Fairview. So the word Millfair Road is actually, taking the two townships and putting them together. So we are on the border of the two, which I think made it an ideal partnership or an intermunicipal relationship between us and Fairview Township. How did Fairview get brought into the mix here?
We felt that Milfair would be able to grow much easier and larger, plus we would have better grant funding if we had the two municipalities joining forces. That would be Fairview and Milcreek. So Joe Chiava, Millcreek, went to Fairview and said, hey, we have this great idea. We've got the land. We've got this idea to start a composting facility, and they were on board 100%.
And I think it's interesting to partner between the two, because then you also not only added our residents, which we have around 53,000 residents in Millcreek Township, and Fairview, I think is right around maybe 12 or 14,000 residents. So you build in this base of residents that maybe need to use a composting facility.
Exactly. So we found the land. We had a partnership. Now we had to clean it up. So I am going to tell you, it was just such a wonderful coming together of everybody. We had Millcreek employees, we had Fairview employees. Actually, if you would come out here when they were doing the cleanup, it was nothing to see one of the supervisors in a high lift moving things around. So it really was a joint effort. Everyone was so excited. So we cleaned this up, and we had with the start of our facility.
So with the partnership of the two municipalities also came splitting up the duties to run the facility day in and day out. What does Millcreek Township do for Milfair versus what Fairview Township does?
Well, it's pretty much equal, because Millcreek staffs the facility Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. Fairview staffs the facility Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the duties have always kind of been, during the week, we don't get as high a volume of traffic as they do on the weekend. So we pretty much did the brunt of all the product. We would process all the leaf waste and the trees and everything. And so we would make the compost. We would make the mulch and dirt and so forth. Fairview, on the other hand, if you're over here on a weekend, I am here to tell you, we've been out here, huh, Jessie?
Yes.
It is swamped. They are so busy. So really what they're doing is they are selling the product that we make during the week. And it's really worked out very well.
Yes. Okay, so now we are ready to open to the public. We do operate under a permit by rule from the DEP, so we are permitted. They do come and inspect us annually, and with flying colors, we pass those inspections. But through our permit and what really that our employees can handle out here, what are some of the acceptable items?
That was something we thought long and hard about. We wanted to make sure that we were getting good product coming into the facility so we could make good product leaving the facility. So what we accept is leaf waste, shrubbery, brush, tree trimmings, non-food garden residue, and also Christmas trees.
Okay, and then so some unacceptable items. I know that we do not accept grass at this time. That is mostly because we need to process it within 24 hours. We can accept very, very small amounts of grass that may come in with your leaves, but nothing like no lawn trimmings or clippings or anything like that. We also don't want the pesticides or chemicals that come with maybe those grass clippings. What are some of the other items we don't accept out here?
That is a longer list than what we do accept. And a lot of these were added through the years. We found people were trying to bring things in we weren't able to process. It was maybe gumming up our machine or something like that. So we've come up with this list of stump grindings, bamboo, ornamental grasses, hay, straw, corn stalks, weeds, food and garden waste, of course, landscape timbers or wood with paint or nails or any processed wood, anything with a large root system or anything over 24 inches in diameter, because our equipment really can't handle anything much larger than that, logs greater than 8 foot in length, no grapevines, and of course no concrete. So like I said, these are things that through the years we've been adding to it. This maybe not have been an original list.
And employees keep a close watch on those piles. We do have booth operators and heavy equipment loaders that if they're, if something is questionable, they will come out, they will inspect what you're bringing, and unfortunately they may have to turn you away if it is something that we don't accept. What is really neat about this partnership, we talked about grant funding.
Right.
And through the intermunicipal partnership, it makes our grant funding to the state even stronger. And we are able to apply for 902 grant funding. What have we been able to secure with that funding?
We are so lucky. When you come out to Milfair, you are going to see specialized pieces of equipment for composting, and we were able to get everything with grant funding. We have a chipper called the Beast. That is actually your grinder, that the guys will put this debris that's behind us into the grinder, and that'll chip it and throw it out.
16 years later, what are the statistics of the site?
Jesse, we have grown so much. When I think of the first day and like the first drop-offs and everything, we implemented residential and commercial permits. And the reason being is when we put in our POS system, it just made entering and purchasing product so much easier, so much quicker for our booth attendant. So we have, to date, we have almost 8,000 residential permits, and we have over 200 commercial permits, landscapers using the facility. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a lot. We have really, really grown.
That is a lot. Mm-hmm. And the site visits, I think, is what's most impressive, because we have those permits. If a resident doesn't grab a permit, they can use their driver's license out here. So how many site visits do we usually get each and every year?
We get approximately 25,000 visitors a year.
That's a lot.
That is an awful lot.
That's like somebody going to a park or something, that's an incredible amount of people visiting this compost site. And again, we're not a park. We are diverting, waste, or not waste, but leaf waste from the landfill.
That's what's so exciting. Mm-hmm. It's so exciting that we have our yearly average of diverting leaves from the landfill is we see yearly about 1,500 tons of leaves. Mm-hmm. And then of brush, we have 4,000 to 5,000 tons that we see. That is a lot of material. These guys are processing and selling.
Yes. And again, I know that the DEP is very happy. I know that our residents are very happy that we have this. This is really a special place that not every community has the opportunity to oversee or to have in their community. So we're very fortunate and very lucky.
We are very lucky. Jesse, like I said, we had started small, mm-hmm. And we've had to grow. With our growth, we've had to grow right along with it. Mm-hmm. And we have seen some expansion.
Yes, we have over the years. So it originally started off as a site for only Millcreek and Fairview Township residents dropping off, which is for free. But then we needed additional product to come in. We felt like we could handle it and process it. So then we opened up drop-offs to commercial landscapers, mm-hmm. which we do charge a fee, a tipping fee for those items being brought in from a commercial landscaper.
Okay, stopping and visiting the site, I touched briefly on residential and commercial mm-hmm. permits. We know why those came into play, but explain to our viewers how they can get a permit and why they would really need one.
Yes. So again, the permit is for expediting the check-in process, for making sure that you're a resident of Millcreek, Fairview, or West County, or a commercial landscaper who has signed up for a commercial permit with us. We do ask residents to obtain this permit ahead of time. We even break it down for the tracking process into Millcreek permits and Fairview permits. Millcreek permits are given out at the Millcreek Township building, which is open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30. They're given out at the reception desk in the lobby. The Fairview permits are actually given out here at the Millfair Compost Center at the check-in booth. And then the commercial permits are for businesses, commercial landscapers who want to do business out here. The commercial permit, there is a one-time fee of $20 to obtain the permit, and then each and every time you stop out at the compost center to drop off, then you're charged a tipping fee based on the volume that you're bringing in. So you could be bringing in a pickup truck or a single axle truck. At the compost site, we do not accept cash. We only accept debit card, credit card, placement of your transaction onto a store account, which you must pay off, or a check is required at the time of purchase.
Okay, now we've talked about who can drop off at the facility, who can purchase, because of course we're making all this product. Who can purchase the product?
So the nice thing is that, and I say this, but anybody in Erie County can purchase. I'm sure we've even had some, communities maybe in as far as New York or Ohio come over to us, Crawford County come up to us, but really anybody can purchase the materials that we make. So while drop-off is limited to Millcreek, Fairview, and West County and commercial permit holders, purchasing products or obtaining products for free is open to everyone.
And let our viewers know what we have here for sale.
Yeah, so and our product list has changed over the years, just really based on demand of our residents and demand of the customers. So what we do offer, and again, I want to mention when available, because our guys work very, very hard, but sometimes, like you said, over the weekend they get slammed, and so on Monday the inventory that we had may not be the same as what it was on Friday. So pricing is going to be as follows when available. The leaf compost is $25 a yard. A fine screened mulch is $20 per yard. We also sell a 50-50 mix, which is a mix of screened dirt and compost. That is $20 a yard. We have logs available, which is $20 per pickup truck, not per yard. We have screened dirt, which is $12 per yard. Unscreened dirt, which is $5 per yard. And then the wood chips and coarse mulch are free at this time.
Okay. What I want to talk a little bit about the processing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we sell mulch and compost. Compost, okay, they come and they buy it. How does it happen?
Yes, how do we get from a leaf to our compost product?
Yes.
All the compost that we receive come directly from our residents and our landscapers, also sometimes from our curbside leaf collection weeks, just depending if we can handle the volume. They usually come in the fall, but of course, you know, if we have an early winter, a lot of the leaves will come in the spring instead then.
Mm-hmm,
we place those into windrows and pretty much let Mother Nature do its work. Everything that you see happening here is, you know, happening in a wooded or forested area naturally without our help. So with all this specialized heavy equipment that we use and the knowledge of our staff, we speed along that process that happens naturally. Our compost windrows will reach up to about 160 degrees, which is great because it does kill off, you know, any bacteria and some weed seeds. And then periodically, to really speed along that process, it is aerated and mixed using that straddle windrow turner. And then it's finally screened and then sold. And I would say the whole process takes maybe about 1 year.
Okay. All right, what about mulch?
Okay, so
how does that happen?
Yeah, so the mulch that comes in using the high lift loader and a grapple bucket attachment, the brush is lifted and put into our beast grinder. It really chews it up and then spits it back out the other end. And after that, the wood chips are put through the Wildcat trommel screener. Sizing screens send out fine screened mulch on one end, and then on the other end, coarse screened mulch is sent out. And these are great. It helps, again, process the larger pieces from the smaller pieces. Once in a while, you may get something metal that ends up in our pile or a piece of plastic, but all of the screeners screen those materials out. So you know that when we're giving you back a product, it is all natural, it is screened, and it is a really beautiful product.
So now everybody, anybody from Erie County or even outside can enjoy these products. Now, relatively new to Milfair is deliveries. Mm-hmm. Tell us who can have product delivered and how does that happen?
So right now, deliveries are only available to Millcreek and Fairview Township residents. It is a really hot service. It really just started word of mouth to see, you know, how we could handle the requests that came in, and they are busy Thursday through Sunday with their deliveries. So we know that this was a need that the community really wanted from us. It is a flat rate cost of $25 per delivery, and you must order in person from the booth operator anytime Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. That's when the deliveries are scheduled and also when they are delivered.
Do you prepay? You prepay the delivery,
you
correct?
do. You do prepay for the product and for the delivery.
All right.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and for drop-off, now it is free for the residents, right?
Right.
Now explain about what landscapers or commercial have to do for drop-off.
Right. So they also have to check into the check-in booth. And then, as I mentioned before, we do charge them based on the tonnage that they are bringing. For a pickup truck, which we estimate to be about 1 to 2 yards worth of material, and that could be leaves or brush.
Right.
We charge $10 per drop-off.
Okay.
And then for a single axle truck, that's usually anywhere from 3 yards to 10 yards, and that's going to be $20 per drop-off.
Okay. All right, Jessie, I'll tell you one thing. Just looking at this, isn't it exciting to think that this started out as a pit, a dump, and where we're at today?
Yes, we have come so far. I know that Milcreek, Fairview, and the staff that we have here, everybody really takes pride in the work that they do. I think we know we're doing a great service to the community, but also to the environment, and just always look forward to offering this environmentally sustainable option to landfilling leaves and brush. We really want to preserve our landfill space, so this is a great alternative.
And Jessie, knowing you, she is not going to leave Millfair status quo, I'm here to tell you.
Yes.
What are some of the ideas that you really look forward to trying and getting implemented into Millfair?
In the future, I would love to see, we've seen a lot of challenges curbside with glass drop-offs, and so I would love to implement a drop-off program here for glass so that our residents can continue to recycle glass. It's a commodity that doesn't lose its value, so you can recycle glass an infinite number of times. So I would love to see a glass drop-off option here at Milfair.
And then there's also one of her favorite babies, which is
food waste composting. I do love food waste composting. I have a backyard bin, but we were really thinking about those folks who weren't interested in processing their own food waste in their backyards. Sometimes you want to, but you don't have the means to. You live in an apartment or a condo and you just can't make it work. So what I want to see is bringing food waste composting as an option to the Millfair Compost Center also.
That would be, now that's going to take, of course, a lot of research and studying and so forth.
Yes,
which
yes.
She has already been doing.
Yes, you can see my mind working, and the grant funding hopefully is underway, and we get approved for these projects. But I have already reached out to several partners and to the DEP, and I think everybody is excited for us to, again, be the guinea pig for this project. And what I love about Millfair and the Millcreek recycling program is that we do test pilot new projects, and then others come to us to say, how did that go? Did that work? Did that succeed? And so, if something doesn't work for us, it doesn't usually stop, but we always modify it. So if something's not working the way that we planned it, we will, take a right or a left-hand turn and modify it so it does work. But I love that. And what I think is so neat is we have had so many neighboring municipal compost facilities. We have had specialists from other states, as far as Maine, come to our compost facility to see how it is run and operated and how we've made it sustainable and successful for the last 16, 17 years.
And how are we viewed in the state of Pennsylvania, the Millfair Compost Center?
I would say we're viewed very highly. We've given talks on the state level with the Professional Recyclers of Pennsylvania. And then looking to the future, we're also going to be hosting a mini tech session for the Solid Waste Association of North America.
And what is SWANA? Known as SWANA. Tell our viewers what exactly.
Yes.
What SWANA
So
is.
it's a professional organization for recyclers and for members of the solid waste industry. And again, we network, we take continuing education classes, and you grow and learn a lot from these professional organizations. And we feel very lucky to be featured, again, within both professional organizations as something that can be modeled in other communities.
Jessie, what are the hours of operation out here at Millfair?
So we're open seasonally. We know that we get really harsh winters in Erie, and again, in the winter, folks are not going to be, trying to compost leaves or brush. So we are open seasonally from mid-March to about early December. We're open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday and Saturday is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday is noon to 5 p.m.
And we also know there is that time where we are closed to the public. But there's still behind the scenes work to be done, isn't there?
Yes, they are constantly, when when the public is not out here, they are constantly maintaining the equipment and servicing the specialized composting machinery. They are making more product. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes.
And the leaves still need to be turned all through winter. They can't just sit.
Yes.
So they're out here turning the leaves and so forth.
Exactly. And everyone thinks that just because winter hits and there's snow on the ground that the composting process has stopped. What's very interesting is that it doesn't stop. The snow almost acts as an igloo, and the composting process is still happening underneath that snow.
Okay, Jessie, if people want to get more information on anything we've talked about, where can they find this?
All of the information that we talked about today is on our website, www.millcreektownship.com. Also, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to call my office phone. That's 814-833-1111. Or the actual compost crew that we have out here, they can be reached at extension 140.
Jessie, this has been so much fun, and it has been so interesting. I am so glad we were able to do this today.
Me too. I really wanted our viewers to have a behind-the-scenes tour of the Millfair Compost Center.
Thank you for joining us today out at the Millfair Compost and Recycling Center. It was so wonderful that we were able to give this information on how this all happened here. I would like to introduce the staff to you. I have Steve, Jonathan, and Elena, and I want to thank them for all of their hard work, because if it wasn't for them, none of this would happen.
Recycling organic materials is one small way you can conserve natural resources and do your part to take care of planet Earth.